Hello everyone, I'm gonna show you how to remove your rear differential on Evo 8 today. The first thing you want to do is you want to drain your differential fluid. Now next thing you want to do is remove your bolt that connects the differential to your drive shaft. Just use these 12mm wrench and go at it. Make sure your Evo is in neutral so you can spin the drive shaft as you go. Okay, now once the last bolt is out, you want to grab a jack stand and set it under the drive shaft, and drive shaft will just pull right out. Now I forgot to mention this earlier, but you have to take off your exhaust to get to the drive shaft. Just take it off from your downpipe or your cab back. Now next thing you want to remove is your control arm. You want to remove this bolt attaching the control arm to the suspension, the coilover in this case, as well as this bolt here that connects the control arm to the wheel hub. So take 17mm and take this off. Now the next thing you want to remove is your trailing arm. So what you want to do is remove this bolt right here, or you can also remove the bushing that connects the trailing arm to the chassis down here. I'm gonna remove the trailing arm at the wheel hub. Once the nut that connects the trailing arm to the wheel hub is out, you want to grab your extension and just tap the bolt out. This is what it looks like once the trailing arm comes off. What you want to do now is lift up the wheel hub assembly so that you can pull out the axle. What I'm going to do here is just grab a jack and just lift up the rotor and pull it out at the same time. Up and out. Now you're gonna feel like you're gonna break this thing, but it's okay, you'll be fine. So at this point you're gonna have your control arm off and your trailing arm off as well, and your rotor will be free to move around. Before you start prying off the axle, what you want to do is get the little clip inside to come off. So what I'm going to use here is a little fiber and a hammer, and just simply put that onto the axle and tap it from the inside. And as you can see now, the axle has pulled apart from the differential. So what you can do now is go ahead and pull the axle off. And once the axle is out, you just want to zip tie it to your sway bar or whatever you can find, so it's not floating in air. Okay, so now I'm doing the same thing I did on the passenger side to the driver's side. I took off the control arm and I tried to take the trailing arm by removing this bolt here, but it wasn't coming off from the wheel hub. So what I'm gonna do is show you how to remove it from the chassis. So this is the bolt that's in there. You just go straight in from the side and just pull it right out. Now you got both your axles out of the differential hanging off, and what you want to do is remove your sway bar, so that, remove your sway bar bolts that hooks up to the wheel hub so that you can swing the sway bars down to get some clearance for the axle to swing. Okay, so now we are at a point where the axles are out of differential, zip tied to the control arm and just hanging off. So all we have to do is remove the differential from the car. Now first thing you want to do is put the jack under the differential You never know when this thing's gonna drop, and it's super heavy, so you definitely don't want to crush yourself. So put the jack under there and get ready to drop the differential. On the differential, there are going to be 5 bolts you want to take off. There are 2 bolts on the side of the differential. Those are the most obvious ones. It just drops straight down. But you're gonna have 3 bolts behind the differential here. You can see the 3 bolts right behind the differential, and all you have to do is grab a long wrench this one. Now that the 3 bolts are out from the back, you want to remove the 2 bolts holding the differential up into the chassis. When the bolts are out of the differential, all I'm going to do is drop the diff. Before I wrap up, let me just show you what's going on here. So this is a differential that came out. As you can see, here's a nut that holds the center section of the differential, like the pinion gear, straight into the diff. You can see once the cover is open. These are the side mounts on the differential that people are talking about, and these yellow bushings are from Whiteline, and these are what they call the diff carrier bushings. Now here come to the back side. These are the 3 bolts that was behind the differential that I took off. These bolts hold the differential into the diff mustache bar. And let me just get under the car so I can show you that. 2 yellow bushing you saw just now hooks up into the bolts right here. There are 2 bolts that go straight up into these holes, and the 3 bolts that comes in from the back holds on to the mustache bar, which are these 3. And the mustache bar, which is this big piece down here, hooks onto the chassis, and there's another bushing here, and this is what they call the differential mustache bar bushings. And again, this has been replaced with the Whiteline bushings. In my case, it's black. So that's it as far as the differential removal goes. I'm gonna send my diff into TRE to have it rebuilt with 12 plate setup. But if you don't want to spend the money, you can also just restack the differential plates, as I explained in my other video. Since I'm down here, that would be the trading arm Whiteline bushing, the yellow bushing right here. I have also replaced all 3 control arm bushings with Whiteline. 1, 2, 3. And that's it, guys. Thanks again for watching my videos. I hope this helps with your differential project, and good luck, and be careful with the differential. It's quite heavy once it comes out, so make sure you use a jack. Thanks again.